you just naturally think about the what ifs, and you're always going to until you get closure. And that's why I asked the questions I kind of did at the men tell all, and I wanted her to kind of give me the answer of, you're not the one for me. It wasn't just time.
Well, also with Tayshia specifically, we saw a very emotional reaction for her when she did say goodbye to you. And were you blindsided during the date? Did you know she wasn't necessarily feeling it? Like, take me back to what you were thinking then.
Yeah. So, that was the last one-on-one that she was going to give to anybody. And so I knew there was a lot of pressure. She didn't want to give it to another guy for a second one-on-one. So I was like, okay, this is everything that I've been looking for. It's coming late, but I got to make the most of what this is. And I went in a little hesitant because I was like, we haven't connected the way that she has with other guys, but maybe I can make my mark here. And so I had to be optimistic, and I had to think like, listen, this is where I can turn around. I went in, the date went really well. I thought the date went super well. And when it got to the end, I just didn't really see it coming because we talked about serious things, and it felt like the connection was coming. I felt like she was going to take a risk on me and give me the more time that I needed. I think she would have hit it off with my parents if she made it to hometowns. I really think that would have made a staple, and it would have like propelled us even more in a way. But she didn't take the risk. I understand why she didn't take the risk in a situation like this. It's hard to do that. It's hard to throw away a connection you're stronger with on a whim, in a way, to risk it with somebody else. So it sucked, but I understood it.
Was there something that the audience didn't see between you guys that you felt? Because for us, I feel like you definitely had a connection with Claire, but with Tayshia, it wasn't necessarily as like shown, but you guys were clearly both really upset to see each other go. So what did we not see between you guys?
Yeah, this comes up a lot. The connection was very slow. The connection was very slow, but every time that we make a step, I think I opened her eyes more and more and more. And I think you saw that a couple of times. Like every time I talk to Blake, he shows a different side of him, and that's what happened. I think she had her guard up, just like she said at the men tell all, where, I walked in with a red flag over my head night one. How am I supposed to connect with a guy in this short time frame when he's already telling me that he just had a connection with somebody else and he needs more time? There isn't enough to start with. So, it was tough because I felt like if it was Tayshia from the beginning, I think my story would have been a little bit different. It was tough because I felt like it's even emotionally, I could feel that like she could see something there, and it was like so frustrating to get in the limo and be like, there's something here, but you're just not letting it happen. And that was the most unfortunate.
So when you got home, because the show, obviously it's emotional, you've been in this resort for a while, you've made it pretty far, you went through 2 different bachelorettes and stuff. How quickly did you kind of start to get over Tayshia? Are you over Tayshia? Did you get the closure you needed? Like, where are you now?
Yeah, so right when I first got back, I was really annoyed. Not like annoyed, frustrated. I was frustrated because, and it sucks because the connection that we had came on like the last day I was there. So it was so fresh. So like I felt like we made such a stride and it was like shut down, but I still was hanging on to that day just because we blamed it on time. I wish she just would have said, you're not the one for me. There's other connections here. I don't see us being a thing. Instead it was like we ran out of time, the connection came too late. And so, yeah, I got home and I was like thinking about like what ifs, the potential, imagine. And I had little gifts from our dates, some of those crystals from our date and some other things along the way. I made a bucket list for her and things that I have on my dresser. And now I put them and tuck them away because I just don't want to think about it anymore. But yeah, you just naturally think about the what ifs, and you're always going to until you get closure. And that's why I asked the questions I kind of did at the men tell all, and I wanted her to kind of give me the answer of, you're not the one for me. It wasn't just time. I didn't really fully get that, but I've moved past it now. I think she's happy where she's at, and things play out the way they should, and I'll believe in that.
So watching the show back, 1, what has surprised you the most? And 2, who do you think Tayshia has the strongest connection with? Who do you see her ending up with?
Who I think she ends up with? Well, I felt like going into the Final Four, she really liked Brendan the most. But did Brendan make the most sense for her? I don't know. Zach seemed the most like there for the fully right thing. The most of a man, didn't really have an Instagram presence at all. Like he just seemed like he was truly there for the right thing, very life experienced, like a man. Every time you talked to him, you felt like you were learning something, and you always, every time Zach spoke, it was a completely different perspective from like such a mature viewpoint. I got that from a lot of the guys too, but every time Zach spoke, it wasn't all the time, but when he did, it was meaningful, and it was like, okay, just learned something. That's a life experience man talking, and I think those are the types of things that Tayshia also really liked about him. And I see him potentially being the pick in the end.